Alright, so hi, I'm Morris Rosenthal from Phone Books. This is my 23-year-old grapefruit tree, and it gets root bound, much as businesses and people get root bound. So I'm going to have a shot at my annual soil replacement here. The problem is it's gotten so heavy that I can really barely handle the thing, but let's give it a shot. I doubt I'll be able to lift this out of here, but it's worth a try. Well, I can see it budging, but that's about it. So I either need a longer knife just trying to go down a little further. To miss the spots back here. Trying to be a little careful because it's full of thorns, of course, being a citrus tree. If I'm not talking as much as I could, it's because I don't want to cut my fingers off. lost one leaf so far. There we go. Maybe I'll bring the camera over for a little close-up here. It's root bound. It's not as bad as I've seen in some years where there's pure root, but it uses up the soil. So I've got a nice bag of organic humus soil here with some manure. I'm gonna chop out as much of this as I can bear doing and put in the new soil. I only wish I could do as much for my business. I don't seem to have the interest anymore. Let's see. So I'll start by taking about 1/3 off the bottom. Try to do it somewhat straight so that I'll be able to get it to sit in the pot. Let's see, I did delete about 4/5 of my publishing blog backlog. I would say that was something like 400 posts, you know, a minimum of 1,000 hours of work, because I don't write particularly quickly and do research. You know, I don't do the short conversational posts. And it'll be interesting to see whether or not the search engines think that most of that was duplicate content, because it's hard to write about the same subject for 6 years without repeating yourself. But that's not really the reason I did it. I just had the desire to clean up, sort of internet housekeeping. And I used to be afraid to do it because you never know with search engines and with Google. If you make changes to a website that's working well, whether or not you're going to end up losing a big chunk of your traffic. But I lost so much traffic to Panda without doing anything that I figure there's not really anything to lose. Alright, so you see how that came off of there. Okay, and now traditionally, I don't know if I'm still in the camera view here, so maybe we'll use this as a platform and back up a bit. Darn thing must weigh near 100 pounds. I'm going to actually try to cut some wedges out in order to place the dirt that's up nearer the thing. So let's see, I'll go for more at the bottom than at the top. I think if we were all watching MASH 20 years ago, they would call this meatball surgery. All those little roots, it basically holds the dirt in there until you just cut them all out. So there's a wedge. I don't know, the trunk is a little closer to this side, so maybe I should go a little easy and take a little more out of the other side instead. But I've done this, I don't know, 5 or 6 times by now, and haven't killed the tree yet. Wow, so there's some stubborn old root that It's apparently been there for quite a while. It's right at the outside where it must have just run up against the pot. We should move this away a little more just to not damage it. None of us seem to know what that plant is, but you know, it's here. It hasn't attacked us. Alright. Now we're getting into an area where there's a little more room to play at the back here. So I'm taking out somewhat larger wedges. Of course, when I'm done here, whether or not I'll stand in the pot, you might look at this and think this is something I should have gotten help with. And it seems to me I usually do have a friend or a neighbor come by and help, but I just had the ambition to do it this morning, so that's what we're doing. Just about the biggest wedge I've taken out of there. And I could end up recentering the tree in the pot at this rate. Alright, is there any reason to come one more in? No, I don't think so. So if that'll sit there for a moment, I'm going to put some new dirt in the bottom of the pot. I guess I should find some little stones for the holes first. I don't know if these are really necessary or an old wives' tale, but I guess we're likely to find out, since all I can find is some pea stone that I'm stealing. Right. I don't know why there's grass growing in my bag of soil. I don't know if that's the best sign in the world, but it does look like the real stuff. Break up the big clumps. Well, it smells organic, I'll tell you that. I think I gotta put a little more in the bottom there, which I'm afraid means we might run out and have to make a store run and get something else put in there, since I'm not living on a farm here. I can just go out and dig up some dirt. Alright, should be a lot lighter now. Don't feel it. Hey. There we go. I always say I leave it just a little short. fairly straight to me. I'm going to keep on filling from this side because I'm trying to fill in those spaces where we cut out all the root block. Now what I'm doing here that I haven't done for my business is adding the new dirt. I tried the pruning with the websites. I should say website. My If It Jam site, I didn't change anything, and it's basically recovered from Panda all by itself. But this sort of operation has a certain, I don't know, I guess it has a emotional aspect to it. Sort of like spring cleaning for some people. I do follow repotting. And the website, the Phoner Books website, is just incredibly overdue for that. I mean, the website's been up for 10 years, and although I never put anything on there that you would consider spam or thin content, it's all written by me. The worst you could say about some of it is it was draft ideas. 10 years is a long time to let something go without trimming. So this soil might just hold out. I'm on one of the last holes here. I hope I'm not leaving any air pockets. I tried to go slow as I went, but one assumes that if I did, the surface will sink in a little and I'll get an opportunity to make it up. It's really, you look at just a big root-bound clunk of dirt. It's kind of interesting. Gee, I hope the camera's actually turned on. So, I think that's pretty straight. If it's not, it should compensate. Let's just see. Thought there might be another bag of dirt in there, but I guess not. One. Just trying a little realignment there. I don't know. The trunk is pretty straight up and down. The tree isn't in the right place. Should learn to adjust. So I'm Morris Rosenthal for Phoner Books, and that's my disorganized grapefruit tree talk.